Well, there's Rick Wines, another coffee and Conquest. And previously we talked about how to get 20 additional sales per month. And we got some feedback. So what we're going to talk about today is how to actually do that. So to recap, what we talked about, we know about 7 to 9% of your service customers are going to pull the trigger on something over the next 90 days. The question is, do they do it at your dealership or at another dealership? Your past customers. On average, any given time, a dealership has 700 to about 1,300 past customers who are currently in market, actively looking for a vehicle, and a percent of them are going to close over the next 90 days. With previous articles that we've read and different guest opinions, some of the notes that are out there, some of the articles, they say that on average, a dealership gets about 166 qualified or quality leads per month coming into them. If that's the case, it appears that there's more opportunity in service, and there's more opportunity with our past customers than with the inbound leads coming in. In a DH states that 70% of customers will purchase from the dealership that they're doing business with currently in service. In other words, there's loyalty with service customers. With our past customers who are in market, currently, when we work a campaign or re-engage these customers, we're experiencing a 4% close rate over that total number over a period of 60 to 90 days. In other words, working service and working these past customers, we can actually get to those 20 additional units. We know that in the service department, we're seeing more traffic, we're seeing more opportunities, we're seeing that in all the reviews, all the reports, all the articles are out there. We're also seeing that on average with our past customers are in market. If we do re-engage them over a period of 90 days, we aren't seeing that 4 to 5% close rate. But there's a secret to that. There's a certain way to engage them. There's a certain way to stay in touch with them. It's not simply what I would call a one and done. So let's look at the actual steps. With service, it's quite easy. Here's some ideas. Why not put a board up in the service lounge? And with that board, we will list the vehicles, the previous owned vehicles, used vehicles that we're interested in. And here's a hint and an idea. Why not take a look at who's coming in the next day for service, see what the vehicles they have, and we'll put those vehicles up on the board. In some cases, those service customers seeing that will raise their hand, reach out to you proactively, and say, hey, they would be interested in selling their vehicle. Just a thought. For every RO that we issue, why don't we attach an offer to purchase? With every customer that has left service, and we follow up with them, to see how their experience was. As we're doing that, let's give them a KBB offer. And for every customer that's in service at the present time, as we're talking to them, part of the conversation could be, what's going to be your next buying decision? Are you going to go with an EV vehicle or an ICE vehicle? And I'll tell you right now, that would definitely open up a lot of discussion there. Everyone seems to have very strong opinions, but it will open the door for you to talk about a possibility of trading them up. And we can see we can do that for them sooner versus later. These are just some ideas to engage the service customers and find which ones are interested in making a change. With our past customers, we already have the tools to find out which of our past customers are actively in market, actively searching for another vehicle. They just forgot to tell us, right? With that knowledge, we can re-engage those customers with email blasts, follow up with a phone call, do some videos that we send out to them. But in every case, we would like to offer them, or should offer them, a incentive. Offer them what we would call a VIP offer. Invite them to a special event on the showroom floor or a virtual event because they are a special customer to us. Let's provide them an offer to purchase their vehicle, because if we do that, chances are they have to get something else to use. And once we initially do that, let's stay in touch with them over the period of those 90 days, because we know a certain percent are going to pull the trigger. And when we follow up with them, instead of doing the old-fashioned follow-up of saying, are you in market? What can we do to help you? We follow up with information. We give them videos about a newer version of what they're driving. We give them videos on the new tech items that we have in our vehicles and why buy from us. We offer them incentives. Now, not everyone's going to purchase from us, but a certain percent, yes, typically 4%. And I know that already within the dealership that you're doing certain things to keep them as a repeat customer. We have a loyalty program, right? And we're getting them to earn points and to cash in the points. We're giving them a personalized experience when they come in for a service or when they reach out to us for a question. We provide them with product knowledge of what's going on with our new products, what's going on in the industry, so we can tempt them to pull the trigger now on something else. In other words, we're keeping them engaged. Here's the takeaway. Let's work your past customers who are in market. Let's work your service customers. Even though we get a small percent of them to pull the trigger over a certain period of time, there'll be enough for us to see an increase in sales volume. And I believe that we can pick up an additional 16, 18, 20 units per month if we do this. Take a look at the data. Take a look at the numbers. Don't dive too deep. I'm not saying you should agree with the numbers, but take a look at them. Take a look at the trends, and let's talk about this. My team is here, ready to help your team and anything that you need to make this happen. And hopefully we can work on this month. Hey, by the way, thank you for listening. As I always say, success is a choice, and go out and make it a great day.